Finally, we get what all of the fans were clamoring for. Because dance again.
もう一度聞くわ。どうしてわかったの？
Welcome back to the series where I give my thoughts on the most recent episode or so of Higurashi Sotsu and you tell me I'm wrong. Don't be afraid to do that, by the way, I love the discourse. That episode was about what was expected. As per usual Sotsu fashion, the answers are about as dry as they can get. Everything is Satoko. The more interesting thing about a particular answer in this episode, however, was not the explaining itself, but its implications. So I'll just come out and say it. The audience was lied to regarding the fight between Teppei and Keiichi, or rather lack thereof. And it isn't the usual hallucination-type unreliable narration characteristic of the original Higurashi. In fact, those seem to be completely absent from the show, as it only wants to treat Hinamizawa syndrome as a plot device for its murders. The kind of lie this time was an outright one, showing a false version of the events that transpired. At a glance, it seems to be showing the version Satoko told Oishi, demonstrating the magic of the cat box. This falls entirely in line with Umineko when they cry's narration, which displays lies that the parties involved agreed on as truths. In this case, the only party was Satoko, and the cat box of the incident sealed with no witnesses, her story became truth. The thing is, it doesn't totally line up with what we saw. Teppei was the one to attack first in Tatari Damashi, not Keiichi, and overall seems to be the instigator and aggressor. Satoko claimed that he was attacked and tried to fight back. Because of this, I'm not entirely convinced it's an Umineko magic scene. Go and Sotsu have been designed to play with the expectations of readers and viewers of the original Higurashi, so it's possible of this being applied to Umineko as well. Because of that, I believe it's possible the fight between Teppei and Keiichi actually happened in a different fragment not seen yet. How that fits into the story yet, I can't place. And honestly, this is unscripted. As I'm reading this, I'm finding it less believable. Then again, I've been wrong many times thus far, mostly in assuming this show is more interesting than it is, so take it with a grain of salt. It could also just be Keiichi's faulty memory, as he seemed to only pick up certain details and his mind pieced the rest together after going unconscious. That's probably it, honestly. Satoko talking with Oishi felt like a Ryukishi moment. Many of the scenes of his VNs are interesting in content, but take a long time to get the point across, and I felt that here. That said, I'm not entirely sure how I would go about shortening it while retaining all the information that was intended. Regardless, Oishi has been the best part of this arc and is very entertaining whenever he's on screen. It's a crime that he never got placed into a true villain role before now. I've seen many point out how reckless Satoko is in confronting dangerous L5-ridden murder machines, and to an extent I agree, but it's also a little warranted. She has the quickest draw in Hinamizawa, nay Japan, and can easily shoot immediately and without hesitation should she find herself in peril. I've also seen people wondering why she didn't shoot Lena. The reason is because as psychopathic as she is, it doesn't seem like she likes taking unnecessary actions. Her only goal there was to confirm Rika's death, and Oishi was in the way of that, so she shot anyone. Get Erika vibes from the scene. It's quite possible Rena will remember this in later loops, yes, but I don't think killing her here would have changed that. Keiichi frequently recalls loops where he died in 1983. Seeing how the last shot of the episode was focused on Ella and Hanyuu, and the next arc's title, Higurashi Hen, or God Entertaining Chapter, seems made for them, I think it's safe to assume the next arc will feature them heavily, possibly their origins. Or at least Ella's, since Hanyuu's has already been explored in Kotohogushi Hen, but that's a console art of dubious canonicity. By the way, Higurashi sounds suspiciously like Higurashi, or resembling furniture, in Japanese. Umineko fans will get something out of that. It's clear Ella doesn't harbor any fondness in particular for the goat-horned goddess girl to whom she bears a likeness, but what's interesting is that this isn't her first time insulting Hanyuu. It seems like she has it out for her specifically. Remember when I said I've been wrong many times, particularly in assuming the show is more interesting than it is? Well, boy do I have some more of that for you. What if Ewa and Hanyuu are a similar situation to Satoko and her witch self, in that they are the same person given different form in the meta world? There's a certain aspect of Hanyuu's character that is explicitly mentioned in the original visual novels, but never brought to the forefront, as it seems to have been forgotten for the sake of a smoother transition to a happy ending. See, the reason why Hanyuu fed into Rika's despiriting with her own defeatist attitude and didn't help her solve her situation in any meaningful way is strongly implied to be that once they break out of Rika's death loop, Rika will live out a mortal lifespan and Hanyuu will once again be left alone for centuries or even an eternity. Do you see what I'm getting at here? In other words, she didn't want Rika to leave Hinamizawa. She seems to have put this aside for the sake of producing the happy ending of Matsuri Bayashi, but the lingering emotion was never addressed. What if she saw a common goal with Satoko and recruited her as a proxy for her own will, all while playing the hero? Moreover, what if the Onigari no Ryuo was intended to be used on Hanyuu herself should she be found out, setting up a win condition for Rika, so that if her plan fails, she will be cast into nothingness instead of living an eternity of shame? I could be getting ahead of myself here, but I think it's cool that this can even be derived from the available information, and if even a part of this theory is correct, I'll be rather happy, but I'm going to save my hopium reserves for now. What did you guys think of this episode? Feel free to let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree with me. I want to see your theories and everything else. And remember, if you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment. Pretty much any engagement with this video is going to be a big boost. So, I go by Tasty Nachos, and you go by.